in the Pelicans. We're at Crypto taking on LeBron, Luka, and the Lakers. Let's get to it. Come on, Bron. 8 minutes to go in the third is where we pick it up. Wow. A little vintage Bron there.
We're starting in the third, but we saw this play happen once, twice, 3 times in the first half. In transition.
Doesn't look like
oh, hey, Trey. Show me what you got, Trey.
Come on.
Hey.
Okay, airtime.
Clean.
Insane.
Clean.
What are we talking about? Fourth quarter. Come on, Zion. Give us a little something.
And what I like here is that, trying to get back to his form. You see his signature move right here. The flex.
Look at it. I love it.
With the flex.
Go off, King. Reeves, he knew it, too.
And all 3 Lakers stars touched the ball. Some synergy, some chemistry.
Didn't know it could happen.
Reeves for 3.
They needed this in their soul.
Deeply, viscerally. Come on, Luka.
And he wants an and one.
Of course he does. A shock to no one. Come on, Smart. Oh! On the way down, he said, it doesn't matter. Lakers go on to win 110-101. Here's Bron and JJ.
Well, we knew we wasn't playing against their record tonight. It's the first time they've been whole in quite a while. And we know when they've been whole what type of team they've been. So we came in with that mindset, understanding the type of team that we was playing.
You said you haven't had a win like this since November. Does it feel like, in some ways, the group is starting to find the cohesion that you've been searching for, honestly, since then?
We're a work in progress, and I would just say that. But I'm confident that we'll eventually get to a good space.
So Luka, LeBron, and the Lakers have won 3 straight after that 3-game skid, just getting back even. Tim, what did you learn about the Lakers team?
Not a whole lot. I mean, they beat 3 teams they're supposed to beat. Now, these next couple weeks, we will have a chance to learn something. 6 of their next 8 games are against teams that have better records than them.
Right.
If they can put together a streak, or if they can put together even a winning record during this stretch, the Lakers will have shown us something.
Yeah, JJ Tim said that they're a work in progress. Well, they have to bring their hard hats. Real talk. They got to put in the real work because they're 22nd in defense and 28th in rebounding. You got to fix that. But we all know what the obvious is. Obviously, I just stated it. What I enjoyed, honestly, was LeBron James in transition, 41 years old. And in these matchups, you can get caught up, right? You can say, oh, it's the Pelicans, or it's respectfully the Wizards, or it's respectfully the Utah Jazz, not just trying to throw shade or anything, and just really not play your top game. When LeBron is setting the tone in the first half with these types of plays, it shows that these games still matter. And so I just like LeBron doing what he can to make sure they stay focused.
Yeah, I want to thank LeBron for letting everybody know that 41 is not old, okay? I'm feeling offended.
Only on the court, right?
Let's go coast to coast and get you caught up on the action from around the NBA. First up, the Knicks won their 12th consecutive game against the Raptors after getting 26 points and 10 assists from Jalen Brunson, while Big Cat added 21 points and 12 rebounds. Tim, what's been the key to the Knicks' recent success?
Listen, we're seeing the offensive highlights here, but the key to their success has been on the defensive end. 15-4 in the last 19 games. The best defensive rating in the league during that stretch. If they can do that with Jalen Brunson, with Karl-Anthony Towns, and the Knicks absolutely have a chance to come out of the Eastern Conference.
On to the Spurs. Last night, they put a 40-point beat down on the Sixers. Wemby stuffed the stat sheet, and Dylan Harper added 22. Today, how would you grade their performance?
Look, at Stanford, getting an A+ is a major win. This is an Ivy League A+ performance. You said Wemby stuffed the stat sheet. He only had 10 points. People are like, how is that possible? This man was a plus 41 from the floor. None of the other starters played more than 25 minutes. So, yeah, I'm going to lock this game in and say, this is the Wemby effect. 10 points, but plus 41, make it make sense.
Period. Off to the Bus City Killers, where the Hornets improved to 19-2 when starting Ball, Miller, Knipple, Bridges, and Diabate. The Hornets have won 5 straight games by 15 or more points. Tim, are people sleeping on this squad?
I better wake up. Listen, 7-18 was their start. They are a 500 team now. There's only been one team in NBA history to have that kind of turnaround mid-season. And as you said, 19-2 with a ridiculous point differential with that starting lineup. The Moose is loose, and the Hornets are hitting threes all over the place.
The Donovan Mitchell-less Cavs wanted all the smoke. All right, let's get to the highlights, y'all. Cade Cunningham and the Pistons facing off against the Cavs. Donovan Mitchell, as mentioned, missing the 4th straight game with that groin injury. First quarter here. All right, Jalen Durant.
Yeah, he showed up. He showed up. Nice
meant that
highlight
too.
right there.
Every part of that. Second quarter now. Come on, spin move.
Yeah, that's what they need from Evan Mobley, to be aggressive and to be one of those post players that cannot be guarded in the Eastern Conference.
2:30 left. The beard.
That's what he does. That step back is patented.
Period. All right, we go to the fourth quarter now. How about a little assist from the beard over to Jalen Tyson?
Oh, he had himself a night.
Yeah, 22 points, 5 3-pointers
Yep.
made. Insane. A little later.
Oh.
Ooh, sorry, Asar.
Hey.
Okay, alley-oop.
Those are my favorite players, the Twins. Asar. So as a Rockets fan,
Top
I
of the square.
I always support both of them.
Oh,
Rejected. Okay, two-way.
not up in here.
Two-way, Cade.
Kate said, I got a little something for you. Next possession. Woo! From the wing. Come on, Mobley.
Yeah, that's what you want to see, right? Yep.
3 minutes left in the fourth.
Close game still.
That is
They're
a
in.
big, strong dude.
He had a double-double, 24 points, 14 boards.
Yeah, best performance for the Pistons.
Beep, beep.
Oh,
Meat. It's meat.
meat. Is it meat? We gotta get the sound effects correct, guys. Here we go. And the Cavs got the win 113 to 109. Right, the Cavs have been one of the hottest teams in the league since acquiring Harden, winning 9 of 12 games since he joined. They have scored almost 120 points per 100 possessions, second best in the NBA in that time. All right, so James Harden and Evan Mobley both scored 18 points. Jalen Johnson just added 22. Hi, Tim. Good to see you.
Howdy, MJ.
What did you learn about the Cavs in this very impressive win over the top-seeded Pistons?
Well, and especially impressive with Donovan Mitchell out, and James Harden didn't have a great shooting night, and they still put up 113 points. Jalen Tyson, as you said, having a breakout season. Dennis Schroeder, though, didn't obviously not as big a splash as James Harden in the trade market, but really helped Detroit late last year.
Yeah.
Yep.
Really helped Cleveland in this one.
Yeah, he absolutely did. To me, I think what's fascinating is on paper, I was going back and forth all day. Who is the most talented team on paper at full strength in the Eastern Conference? And it was hard for me to make a case against the Cleveland Cavaliers. You have an 11-time All-Star in James Harden, who's currently number 4 with assists per game, right? Donovan Mitchell, he's having a career year. I know he sat out, but 29 points per game. But most importantly, everyone's eyes are on the post players. And I know some left early last night, but still, Evan Mobley, when he is efficient, that is the best version of Evan Mobley. And lastly, I'll say this. Jarrett Allen, he is averaging 19 and 10 on 73% shooting, playing alongside James Harden. So that collection of talent, to me, has the most upside. Now, do they have the most championship experience, or do we have the most belief in them when it comes to a championship? Maybe not, but right now, they look like one of those teams to beat.
Yeah, when you have a player who elevates everybody else, it makes a huge difference. On the other side, though, Detroit struggled with shooting the ball. Cade was 4 of 16 from the field, including over 7 in the paint. Tim, how were the Cavs really able to slow him down?
Well, and you talk about Mobley and Allen, 4-16, that is a credit to them.
Yeah.
And look, Cade has struggled sometimes against elite rim protection. 4-16 here, 5 of 26 in that recent loss to Wemby and the San Antonio Spurs. He's had a couple other really rough shooting performances this year against the Cavs. And we all understand the Pistons have some real spacing challenges. They have the challenge of not having another dynamic creator other than Cade Cunningham. He's going to have to play in crowds, and that might mean some nights that aren't real pretty in terms of his field goal percentage.
Yeah, he's only one dude, can only do but so much for that squad. He's trying, though. He definitely does. All right, coming up, did you hear? And we're continuing to follow the developing story out of Brooklyn this week after Terry Rozier's appearance in court on Tuesday related to the gambling investigation. There's another NBA name back in court today. Chauncey Billups is among dozens of defendants appearing in federal court today in the alleged rigged poker ring case. Now joining us outside of the courthouse in Brooklyn is Chief Investigative Correspondent for ABC News, Aaron Kotursky. Aaron, what stood out to you inside the courtroom today?
I think Chauncey Billups certainly stood out. He looked quite dapper in a dark suit, white shirt, sat right in the front row of the gigantic courthouse in Brooklyn Federal Court to hear the judge set a trial date for the case. This is the one, MJ, that charges Billups and Damon Jones with using their celebrity and fame to lure unsuspecting players to poker games that were rigged by the mob. And Billups and the other defendants are going to stand trial now November 2nd. not all at once. The case is just too big, and there are too many defendants to put them all on trial at once. So prosecutors and defense attorneys are going to have to figure out how to divvy up the case. But in all likelihood, similarly situated defendants like Billups and Damon Jones could face trial together because they were what prosecutors called the face cards. They used their face to get people to those rigged tables.
Now, the allegation is that Billups acted as a lure, as you mentioned, to bring players into these poker games. How central do prosecutors appear to view his role compared with the other charges in this alleged ring?
You know, on one hand, he's something of a bit player because there are others who were shaking down people for money, allegedly. There are those who actually brought in the equipment to rig the tables, the ones you could, see through and have some transparency for the cards. There were those who backed the games, with money, and many of them are allegedly tied to the mob. But without Chauncey Billups and without Damon Jones, the high rollers don't get to the table, according to federal prosecutors. They're the ones that brought in the people with the big money to lose. And so this scheme, as alleged, cost the unsuspecting players, in some cases, millions of dollars. And for that, prosecutors say Chauncey Billups and Damon Jones played a big part.
Now, yesterday we saw that Terry Rozier was back in court as well. What are the next steps for these cases?
His case has not yet been set for trial, and Rozier has been trying to dismiss the charges against him that involve tanking on purpose and leaving a game with a faked injury, but not before tipping off one of his childhood buddies so that he and others could make some big bets on gambling platforms. Rozier says this is mischarged, a misapplication of the law. The judge has not yet ruled on his motion to dismiss. But in both of the cases, the rigged poker, the bad gambling, both of the cases, federal prosecutors say a number of the defendants, they won't say which ones, MJ, but a number of the defendants are now considering plea deals. So we'll see how many are willing to take them and perhaps, if called upon, flip on their co-defendants.
A lot of layers to this for sure. Aaron, thank you so much.